It worked out perfect. All right, so it's a Saturday morning. We got one guy out on track, a couple more coming out. Pretty soon, I'm gonna be one of them. Here's the deal. Jake had me work on basically three things: my upshifts, how I apply and release the brakes, and then building up my roll speed into the corners. We're gonna look at some in-kart video. We're gonna have video from outside the track, and we can just kind of see, okay, am I making progress or not? So I'm gonna get suited up, and here we go. All right, and so it's time to do a few installation laps. You know, the whole point is, yeah, check the engine, see how it's running, but also get some heat in the tires, get some heat in the brakes. You know, with the SodiCart brake system, you really have to get some heat into those pads before you really lean on them, because they're not very effective until you have that heat. In fact, you'll see me, I'm already kind of dragging the brake to get heat in the pads, and even then I miss the apex of the corner by like 6 feet. I mean, it just doesn't stop until you get that heat in. It's really dramatic. The other thing is that every time you go out on a track for the first time, you kind of want to evaluate the grip levels and just see what's available. And so for me, you know, you can see I'm hunting around there a lot around the track, lots of steering inputs. There just wasn't much grip. And so I was sitting there saying, okay, let's narrow up the rear, let's widen the front, and then let's raise the tire pressures. And you can see here with that, the kart started looking a whole lot more hooked up. And as more karts got on the track and started laying rubber down, the kart just got better and better. And you can see through here, the kart looks quite stable. It's holding the line very well, and I can just put the power down a little bit earlier with each coming corner. So with that, then I was able to start working on the stuff that Jake asked me to do. And you can see here, I carried more roll speed into the corner, which was great, but I released the kart just a little bit too soon in the corner, and I drifted way wide, and so that messed up my entrance into turn 3. Coming through 3, looked pretty good through there. Here I come up to the 4, 5, 6 combination, bashing the curbs, getting air. It's kind of normal for that particular sequence of corners. Again, going into turn 7. 7 never really rubbered in, and so it was always kind of like a new experience, but you had to just kind of take it slow to go through there and just say, you know what, this is all the track can give me. So you'd have to modulate the throttle, and that's one thing that I'm really having to learn about driving a shifter kart. It's got so much power. You can't treat the throttle like it's an on and off switch. You have to modulate it. So that wrapped up the test session for the day. Let's do a debrief. All right, so kind of an interesting day at the track. It had rained last night apparently because the track was really slippery. And at first I thought it was me, but then I started talking to some of the other guys driving out here, and they're all like, no, it's really, really slippery. So one of the things that I have got to learn is that I've got to drive to what the track will give me. If the track is super slippery, I can't go in and attack the corners like I was trying to attack them. And guess what? When I did, it caused all sorts of problems. And there's my friend, Mr. Perez.
Richard, how are you?
I'm great, buddy. I'm great. So,
how's the track?
Track is super slippery, but I laid some rubber in for you, just for you.
Perfect.
So
Thank you.
yeah, right. Yeah, you had to do some work, so you let me go do all the hard stuff.
Right.
Don't attack the corners.
All right.
Because the track just won't give it to you. And the other part is that I was having to feed the throttle, because you can't just jump on the throttle. There's just no grip.
All right.
So anyway.
Thank you for the tip.
You will be fine. Other than that, you know, Carlos also trained with Jake.
Yes.
And so,
great guy. You should take advantage of it.
Absolutely great guy. And so what I worked on was the application of the brake and coming off the brake, my upshifts, which I was backing out of the throttle way too much. So
Same here. I'm coasting too much.
Coasting too much, yep. And then roll speed, carry more speed into the corners. And you know, I feel like I was strung together a real good turn 1, 2, and 3. Turn 4, 5, and 6, that first chicane, slippery, slippery, slippery. I mean, I was having to go to the brakes to keep from going off the other end.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, and then turn 7, I think I took it right maybe once.
All right.
It's just so slippery down there. So
Anyway, but really good practice. I'm so glad I came out here.
It's great.
Yeah.
We'll give it a trial to see what happens.
All right, brother.
All right.
Thanks for
Take care.
stopping by.
Thank you.
Good seeing you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. That worked out perfect.